Have you ever found yourself standing in for Google search when you are around your parent? Me and my mom go through this process all the time. She will ask, "Do you remember the name of?" or "What's the name of?" And I can almost feel my brain trying to pull up the answer. Then sometimes she takes it up another level and asks, "Did I give you that insurance packet yesterday?" And of course, I am looking at her like, I have no clue what you are talking about. It is like my brain is going through a whole cabinet full of files at warp speed and somehow still coming up empty. Then I see the look on her face, that look that says, "You know what I am talking about." And now, whatever I was doing comes to a complete stop because I am either trying to remember what she means or I am trying to find whatever paper, card, form, or random piece of information she is asking about. Sometimes my brain works like Google search, but most days it works like a computer that is buffering, and it may not come back online for days. And then let's add the doctor's appointment. You are sitting in the exam room waiting for the doctor to come in. Then your parent looks over and says, "Did you remember to bring that paper to show the doctor?" And you just stare at them thinking, "What paper? What paper are we talking about?" At this point in my life, I almost expect some version of this interaction to happen. But I also realize these moments can become tiring and frustrating for everybody involved, because it is not just about one piece of paper. It is about the pressure of being the person who is expected to remember everything. The doctor's name, the medication change, the insurance card, the bill that came in the mail, the repair person who came to the house, the appointment that was rescheduled, the document that is probably somewhere safe, but nobody knows exactly where safe is. Before you know it, your brain becomes the filing cabinet for your parent's life. And at first, that may feel normal. You may tell yourself, "I'll remember it," or "I know where that is," or "I'll handle it when it comes up." Most of us do not sit down one day and say, "Today, I am going to become the official keeper of every important detail in my parents' life." It happens slowly. You help with one appointment. You make one phone call. You remember one bill. You keep track of one repair. You hold on to one document. Then one thing becomes 5 things. 5 things become 15 things. And suddenly, you are carrying a whole system in your head without realizing it. The problem is, your memory may work fine on a normal day, but stressful moments are not normal days. Life does not usually ask for important information when you are calm, rested, and sitting at a clean desk. Life usually asks when you are standing at a front desk, sitting in a doctor's office, talking to an insurance company, dealing with an unexpected bill, or trying to answer questions when you are already tired. And that is when your brain says, "Not today." That does not mean something is wrong with you. It means you are human. Your brain was not designed to be the only storage system for your parents' medical information, insurance information, household information, financial information, and daily responsibilities. And when everything stays in your head, important details start blending together. One appointment sounds like another appointment. One bill looks like another bill. One insurance letter sounds like another insurance letter. One phone call leads to another phone call. Then later, you are trying to remember who said what, when they said it, what they needed, and what you were supposed to do next. That can become overwhelming very quickly. And if you are the only child, or the only child who is actually handling the responsibility, it can start to feel like everything depends on you remembering everything correctly. That is a lot of pressure. And sometimes, that pressure can become resentment, because you do want to help your parent, but you also have your own life, your own household, your own appointments, your own bills, your own health, your own things that need fixing. Your plumbing may need fixing, and your parents' plumbing may need fixing too. When both worlds collide, it can go from overwhelming to explosive, not because you do not care, but because one person cannot be the memory bank, the reminder system, the document locator, the appointment tracker, the bill checker, and the emergency backup plan for everybody. That is why keeping your parents' important information only in your head is not a long-term system. It may work for a little while, but over time it can create confusion. Someone may say, "I thought you handled that." Someone else may say, "Where is the paperwork?" Your parent may say, "I gave that to you." And you may be thinking, "When? Where? Was I even in the room?" Then the conversation becomes less about solving the issue and more about trying to figure out who remembers the situation correctly. A simple system will not fix every family issue, but it can reduce unnecessary confusion. It gives everyone a clearer starting point, and it gives you something to lean on when your memory is tired. Now, I want to be clear. Organizing your parents' information does not mean everybody gets access to everything. Some information needs to be private. Some information needs to be protected. Some information may only need to be shared with certain trusted people, depending on the situation. This is not about being careless with personal information. It is about making sure important details do not disappear just because they are trapped in one person's head. Because what happens if you are sick? What happens if you are out of town? What happens if you are unreachable? What happens if your parent has an emergency and someone else needs to step in? Even if you are the main helper, you should not be the only place where important information lives. There should be a safe, simple way for the right person to find the right information when it is needed. And that information does not have to be perfect. It just needs a home. Your parents' important information is not just paperwork. It is connected to real parts of their life. Their health, their home, their money, their insurance, their routines, their preferences, their legal documents, their daily needs. When that information is scattered across memory, drawers, envelopes, text messages, sticky notes, mail piles, and "I think it's in that folder somewhere," it makes everything harder than it has to be. So what do you start writing down? Start with the information you are most likely to need during a stressful moment. That may be doctors, medications, pharmacy information, allergies, upcoming appointments, insurance cards, policy numbers, agent names, monthly bills, due dates, repair people, warranty papers, and where important documents are kept. Now, I know that list can sound like a lot, and this is where people may shut down, because organizing a parent's information can start to feel like a giant project. But you do not have to organize everything in one day. You do not have to create a perfect family command center overnight. Start with one category, one folder, one list, one page, one area that keeps causing stress. A simple starting system could be 3 questions. Who do I call? What do they need? Where is it? Who is the doctor? What medication are they taking? Where is the insurance card? Who handles the home insurance? Where is the policy? Who repairs the air conditioner? Where are the receipts? Who needs to be contacted if something happens? Where are the important documents? That alone can make a difference. The system does not have to be fancy. It can be a binder, a folder, a notebook, a file box, a spreadsheet, or a secure digital folder. The best system is not the prettiest system. The best system is the one you will actually use, and the one that can still help you when you are tired, stressed, or not available. Sometimes we keep everything in our head because we think that is what being responsible looks like. We tell ourselves, "I've got it. I can handle it. I know where everything is." But real responsibility is not always about remembering everything. Sometimes, real responsibility is creating a system that still works when your memory needs a break. Writing things down is not a sign that you cannot handle it. It is a sign that you are handling it wisely. It is a form of care. Care for your parent. Care for the people who may need to help. And care for your future self. Because future you may be tired. Future you may be sitting in a waiting room. Future you may be on the phone with an insurance company. Future you may be trying to answer a question quickly while your mind is already full. Give that version of yourself something to work with. So here is a simple challenge. This week, choose one area of your parent's life and get it out of your head. Not everything, just one area. Maybe you make a doctor contact list. Maybe you write down the current medications. Maybe you gather the insurance cards. Maybe you list the monthly bills. Maybe you create a document location list. Maybe you write down emergency contacts. Start with the area that causes the most stress. Write it down, put it somewhere safe, and update it as things change. Because helping a parent already comes with enough emotional weight. You do not need the added pressure of being the only place where important information lives. Your memory is not a filing cabinet. Your brain is not the family backup drive. Important information needs a home, and you deserve room to breathe.